Hi, I'm Anne DeAcetis. I'm playing Hecuba in Warrior Poets, The Trojan Women. We just finished our first week of rehearsal, which was mostly intensive table work. And working with this particular translation took some time for us to find the music of the language. I will only speak for myself as one of the company members, but the heightened language is something that is very beautiful and very challenging because I don't want to bring it to my level. I want to have an experience that's so profound and epic that it can only be expressed that way. And Anton has been helping me to find that in this particular translation, which I was not familiar with before starting rehearsal. Another thing that we did in the first week was I would call score the show, the entire piece in terms of identifying chapters, not just the scene breakdowns, but also where there are important shifts in the action, important shifts in the story, where we're going to, as a company, really have to make sure everything changes. Because the story is in some ways static. It only takes place in one location. There's a lot of mourning that happens. There's a lot of repeated mourning that happens. And to give the story its flow and to give it a shape and to take the audience on a journey, we started trying to identify those shifts, and Anton definitely has clear ideas about where he thinks things really change. So that will be a great help to us. We've also talked about and visited the space, and we've seen the playing area, and we've seen the platforms that we're going to work on, and we have our costuming. We understand what our physical environment is going to be, what our circumstances are going to be, and I'm looking forward to the next step, which will be actually getting into the space and exploring that on top of the text work that we've already done. Myself, because I have a history with the play. I've done the play twice before. I've always played a different role, and it has always been a communal experience with all of these women together. And I think that making the isolation so literal of what it's like to go through that kind of trauma and how separate it makes you feel. I mean, that's sort of what it makes me think about, that there's only three of us. That you, as Hecuba, actually, that her sense of community is stripped away, that she's not going to have all these other people there to talk to and to look to for comfort and things like that. So it's very frightening for me as a performer to think of going through that experience and living her story without having those people to reach to. And I hope I'm up for the challenge of what it will mean to reach within for where that comfort might be found, and just explore that and see what it yields. There just doesn't seem to be a way to stop humanity from wars. And I think that the only possible response is to echo back, to mirror back the cost of war. I have always been terrified of this play. I have auditioned or offered myself up to do it 3 times because I feel it's an important thing to do as a civic act and as a human act. And as much as it really tests you, it really asks you to feel things and to reach for imagined experiences that you don't want to imagine. It is a great challenge as an acting exercise, and I just look forward to trying it again.